being late. I don't like to be late, and I think most of you know that. Can we start? Marcia, can you pick this up till I get adjusted here?
Sure thing, Strat. So, do we have a visual or just on speakerphone with sound? Oh, there she is. All right, how you doing? Okay, you can get off of mute now so we can talk with you, okay?
Sorry, hi.
Hi, and welcome. And this will be a very informal interview. Three council members are part of the interview, myself, Marcia, Stratton Marmaru, and Johanny Cepeda Freitas. So we're just going to be going around and asking you a few questions. But I guess I first of all wanted to know what you know about the Youth Commission and why you want to be on it.
Do you guys hear that noise?
Just a little bit. We're okay.
Okay, because they're doing construction here in my house and they're fixing the bathroom, so it's like super loud in here. But from what I've heard from the Reading Youth Commission, it's mostly from my friend Genesis. She told me originally about the Youth Commission and to apply for it. I heard that you guys are looking for young adults to help be the advisory board for the mayor, to help him, I guess, kind of deal with issues relating to like the youth in Reading.
And just a question, what are your interests? You're in high school at Reading High now?
No, I go to Penn State Berks. I'm in college.
Uh-oh, that was that's where I attended.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And what's your major, hon?
My major is global studies and a minor in business.
Okay.
Yep.
So what do you think you could bring to a youth commission? What do you think with your background and everything?
Well, I'm originally from Dominican Republic. I've been living here in Reading for like 10 years, and I did grow up here in Reading for 10 years. I went to Reading High, so I kind of know the people. I know how diverse we are and how different we are, and I guess I can kind of bring that perspective to that to Reading, I guess, and help make Reading a better place for the youth, because I know I struggled a lot when I first moved here and kind of like not knowing the place and like getting to know the people, because where I used to live before Reading was like a predominantly like white area, and then coming here it was like kind of like a culture shock. Everybody here was like so diverse and so different from each other. Yes, somehow I feel like a community, like we all belong together.
So you like to do a lot of team building, that type of thing?
Yes, I've worked with kids multiple times. I'm currently actually tutoring the Reading School District kids. I work with the PEP program. So every Wednesday after school, I tutor kids from the high school, middle school, elementary school, literally whoever shows up to the Zoom meetings. But usually it's like middle schools, and sometimes we get some high school students.
Okay. Well, just a little background on the Youth Commission. City Council and the Mayor's administration felt it was important to have a group of youth that could help to give us direction on where we might want to go as far as both legislation that we do, programming that would help the youth, but not only that, what your perspective of is what works and what doesn't in the community. And in Reading, we have probably close to 20% of the city's population is under the age of 18. Okay, so it's really important that we do what's right for our youth. So your group is just getting started. You're going to be needing to get some structure going, electing officers, deciding what your agenda is. There's a lot of startup work that needs to happen. So that just gives you an idea. And I believe there's some planning meetings in place now, once we have enough candidates to be able to actually start the commission meeting. So I'm going to turn it over to Strat or Johanny. Would you like to pick up?
Yes. While you were a student at Reading High, did you find the students cooperative? They're interested in getting involved with the city of Reading, getting involved with some kind of committee for the betterment of the student and for the betterment of the kids and the city of Reading. Have you found that is it there that they want to change?
From my personal experience, like the people I surrounded myself in high school, I would say, yeah, a lot of them were involved in, like a lot of them actually used to work for like the elections. Like when they needed people, they used to be like poll workers. They also used to like help out with the Olivet's Boys and Girls Club. We also used to do they used to have like this marathon running with like some little girls. I remember we also used to attend those. Like we did used to be involved in the community for the most part, and then we also had to like volunteer hours like for our what is it called, like for our senior project, right? And like everybody was kind of figuring out their different aspects of it. And from my experience, I think yeah, but then again, I cannot speak for everybody, but I would say yeah. And even still now, like the friends that I'm close with here in Reading, a lot of them are kind of involved. Like I had some people with me work at the polls during the presidential elections, like we were translators. And then I also have Hennessy's, who was the one who told me about the whole youth commission. So my friends, I would say they are involved in the people that I know.
Great.
Well, this is very important. You know, getting the youth involved. I always advocated this, even in the past, before we even talked about a commission. And the youth should be involved. I mean, I brought this to the attention of the city of Reading. I was the first director of PAL, and I wanted students, I wanted the youth involved, and it worked. It worked. And I was also involved with Little League. I organized Little League here in the city, where at one time little baseball in the city for youth were for the select group. Well, I overturned that. With Little League, everybody's involved. Everybody plays in every game. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the youth involved in everything in the city of Reading. Next.
This is Johanny. How are you?
Hi, Shahari. How are you? I'm good.
For your interest. And I noticed also on your application and on your resume that you're very active and very involved. What's the name? What position, if any, do you serve on the group that you participate at Penn State? I forget the name.
I'm in Latinos United for Change Club, and I also go to SG with the Student Government Association.
Within those organizations?
Yeah, I'm in both of them.
Say, if we were to ask your peers, the people that you work with on these groups, what would they have to say about Seoni?
They would say that I'm very loud sometimes. I like talking a lot if I'm comfortable with people around me. They would say I'm responsible. I do attend all of my meetings, and I do try to respond fast to like the emails with the school email. I know that replying to like Michelle for like setting up like the appointment, the interview, I kind of never saw the email. Actually, like I never saw it. But if it would have been my school email, I would have replied super quick, I promise. It's just that I'm usually more towards like my school email in there. So yeah, I'm very responsible. I'm very school oriented. I'm very focused. I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to do the best that I can, because I guess I just, like I guess like my family, they always try to put in me that education is like very important. Like my sister, she graduated from Penn State Bird, and now she's gonna go to Philly to get another bachelor's degree. So it's kind of like we always strive to like outdo each other and do better than we were yesterday. So.
Thank you. So on that same note, Seoni, what would you say would be some of your weaknesses then?
For me, I would say sometimes communicating. Like I'm not really good sometimes at getting my point across, because I feel like I struggle sometimes with the language in English, because I just get the English and Spanish confused sometimes. So I would say that's kind of my biggest weakness.
Or language to think in, so you get kind of like tongue-tied. I understand.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for you wanting to join this group and be a part of the great things you and the rest of the commission are going to make happen. Thank you for your interest. One last question though, because you're so involved and I so admire and appreciate that. Will you have time, or will you be making time for this commission?
No, I will have time because I only go to school Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm off. I only work at like my other job, but usually they're pretty flexible with me. I don't work that many hours because again, I'm very involved in school and I kind of prioritize my school and like my tutoring more than I prioritize my other job because like I feel like money is important, but I feel like education is gonna get me to more places than the money. You know?
And congratulations on all the the work that you're doing and how how important it is for you to be successful and the values that your parents have instilled in you. Like it makes me very happy to hear what you were expressing. So I just want to congratulate you and thank you in advance for wanting to serve on this commission. I have no more questions for you, Sayoni. Great to have you on board.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So you say so after you kind of have all 15 participants, if I'm not mistaken, that's how many you're looking for. We're kind of create give each other roles. By roles, what exactly type of roles are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, I think that's a really good question. As you're starting an organization, usually you need someone that's going to be the lead facilitator to run the meetings. Depending on what the group decides, they'll decide what they need as far as officers or structure, okay? And then there'll be someone to lead the meetings, working together to see who's going to keep minutes, who's going to be the people that are reporting back on your progress. And then once you start deciding what direction you're going, you may have to form like subcommittees. Okay, let's say you're concerned about the youth violence. You may have a group that's working on that, or whatever you folks decide is your priorities. Okay, so everyone will sort of have to think through where they fit in as part of that puzzle there. And if I'm correct, Shelley, there will be an advisor that will be working with the group.
Yeah, there is a facilitator or a moderator that will be there to help get you started. And two other of our city councilors, Lucine Sahelnik and Melissa Ventura, will also be liaisons with you all until you get yourselves on your feet. And I am always the staff. So if you need presentations or you need any other kind of assistance, in that way, I'll be your contact as well.
Anyone else? Okay, just remember, when you get into a position like this, kids will be looking not at you, for you for help, and you should always try to make yourself available. Is that okay?
Yep, that's okay.
Yes, and I'm sure you'll be okay. I don't have anything else. How about the rest of you?
No, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Shelley. Morgan Hutchison, is he?
Take care.
Yes,
Is she?
He's here?
she's here.
Give me a second. Morgan, I'm going to have to apologize to you. I was a little late today. I'll be honest with you. I forgot about it. I was doing something else. And you can check with my colleagues there. I am never late. Again, I have to apologize for being late. Okay, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Morgan Hutchinson. I go to Berks Catholic. I'm in 9th grade. I play AAU basketball. I play JV this year for the basketball season. I'm in most of the high classes at my school. I went out for student ambassador, but it was being paused for COVID. And I try to do as many clubs as I can.
Uh-huh. So you go to Berks Catholic, right?
Yes.
Maybe you know somebody that I know, Miss Morms.
I do.
That's my daughter. Okay. Anyone else? Marcia?
Yeah. So just, first of all, my name is Marcia Goodman Hendershitz. I'm on City Council, and great to have you in for the interview. What motivated you to apply for the Youth Commission, and what do you know about it?
I know that it's a group of like teenagers trying to make Reading better. My mom came to me with it. She saw it on Facebook, I think. And I looked into it and it seemed like something I want to get involved in.
And have you ever been involved in school and any types of other groups, organizations?
I was on government for like grade school where we just organized events and stuff.
Great.
That's it.
Okay. This is always good learning. And what do you see yourself doing like when after you, I know it's pretty far away because you're in ninth grade, after graduation, where do you see your path taking you?
So right now I've been looking at colleges because my school's been asking about it. And I looked into doing pharmaceutical science, like the discovery of medicine and new vaccines. And I saw a good school for that is Penn State.
You better believe it. I'm a Penn State graduate, so. And Morgan, I may want to speak to you after this, and just to let other members of the committee know, I'm very interested in how we can educate people about the COVID vaccine and what might be the best way to get that message out. And so I was been talking with some of the health professionals in our community. So it sounds like that might be something you might be interested in, Morgan.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to turn it over to the other folks. I guess, Johanny?
This is Johanny Cepeda Freitas. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I noticed on your application, you mentioned something about, I guess, dispelling the images, the negative images of the city of Reading. How do you think you would help change people's perspective on our beautiful city?
Well, a bunch of my friends are from the Muhlenberg area, and a bunch of them are always like talking bad about Reading. So to make it safer, I feel like just simple things like cleaning up the parks would be a good thing, making crosswalks, and just making it safer by putting more enforcement in those areas.
You as a young person, what do you really think, and what do you think about the safety in the city of Reading? Like, what do you feel?
I think that it could be much better, but I know it's hard with a little amount of officers in the city right now.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, one last thing. How do you think we can get more folks, both young, all ages, more involved and taking more pride in their neighborhoods?
I really like how there's clubs like the Olivet Center and centers like that where kids can go after school and play for a few hours and not have to worry about little things at home that are bothering them.
Anyone else?
Morgan, do you have any questions for us at all?
No, I don't.
Okay. And just to let
Morgan.
you know, I'll go on, Strat.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll follow you.
Okay, just to let you know that this is a new organization, so it's going to be taking some steps to pull everyone together. Once the commission members are approved, There will be a mentor, a facilitator who will help get the meeting started. There are 2 council members, Lucine Sahelnik and Melissa Ventura, that will be like our liaisons. So you'll be starting to get your structure together, who's going to be leading the meetings and what are your different priorities. So that's what you'll probably be seeing during the first 6 months or so, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Strat.
Morgan, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, I guess you're proud of your dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a tough job. I remember my 22 years as a police officer were rough, but I know he's having it rough. But he's doing a good job. Listen to him, and maybe he can help you also on this committee. Don't be afraid to reach out to him.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, you'll be contacted by Shelley in regards to what's going to transpire from here then, okay? And thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye.
Have a great.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody on yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to apologize again. Do you ever remember me being late, Marcia? Hello.
Well, Strat.
I said, did you ever remember me being late for a meeting?
No.
No. I was a little ashamed when I got the call, but fortunately I get on right away. Okay, that's all we have. Just 2?
That's just 2 interviews, but there's other items.
Just hold on a minute.
And just so the committee knows, if you approve these 2 applicants, that brings us to 10 of the 15. So with my planning meeting last week, the plan is to have an appointment resolution on the agenda for the 22nd, so we can get this started.
That makes perfect sense. And will they start? Do we have another 5 people in line to interview, or are we at the end of the interviewing at this point?
At this point, I have 1 person who's moved, and I don't have a current email or phone number. So I'm going to have to move on from that person. There are 2 who are not returning my phone calls or my emails, and there's 1 person who still owes me their background policies. But I
Okay.
do have a few kind of in reserve that I may be able to move up now through the process.
Yeah.
Would they fit in the areas?
They do not live in the same areas, which is why I'm going to have to look at whether or not they would be mayoral or council. Because if they're mayors, they would be citywide. There's no district restriction.
Well, I know we need to get this organized, but I don't want to make any mistakes on who we're choosing or anything like that. So just take your time and get us some good kids, okay?
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask Christian to do another blast on social media to get more people from specific neighborhoods.
Shelley,
All right.
Yes,
which districts?
we need District 1, and I believe we need District 3. Give me 1 moment. I'm looking. I need District 1, District 2.
Okay. Just 1 from Lucine's and 1 from Melissa. And who's District 2? Is that, who's District
That's
2? I'm
me.
so sorry.
Marcia.
That's March. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Individuals total?
I'm sorry, say that again.
5. We need 5, right? So 3 from those districts you mentioned, and then 2 at large.
Yes, I believe so. And I will be reviewing those applications more closely to make sure that they're appropriate to move up.
Okay. Where do we go from here, Shelley?
We had a planning meeting last week. Melissa, Lucine, myself, John Zabala, who will be one of the moderators, and Frank, planning how we're going to do this. We're going to give them kind of a brief civics 101 to get them all informed about how, government overall and Reading specifically operates before we let them loose on doing any kind of projects. 'Cause they kind of have to understand the
Okay.
process before they can recommend any changes. So,
Do we have any projects that that should be acted on immediately, or?
our plan was
It's
to
not for
let
us
them
to
lead
decide
it.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not for us to decide that, Strat. It's for them to decide.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just,
But one of the things that we may want to do is keep them informed about, for instance, the youth violence forums that are being held at Olivet's. That I don't know whether your office receives the notifications of when they're scheduled. Okay, they are posted on Facebook, but I'll forward a flyer. I think there's one in April, just to let them know that that's going on, because that's a good opportunity for their voices to be heard.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share that.
And
That's
at
what I
that point,
meant.
some of them may have been appointed or will have been appointed, so they can identify themselves as being members, rather than us as adults saying we're starting a youth commission. They can identify themselves as being members of the youth commission.
What
And
else,
Shelley,
Shelley?
oh, whoops,
Go ahead, Johanny.
hello. And know that if you need my help with anything, you just let me know, because I'm willing to volunteer as I can regarding youth commission.
Okay, thank you.
It's interesting too, and it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but there's some other exciting opportunities available for some young women who may be interested in technology or the sciences to be able to get some paid internships over the summer. So I want to check to see whether it's appropriate for me to be able to have the names of the young ladies that have been interested in the Youth Commission, to let them know about those opportunities. I don't know what any of your thoughts are.
Okay.
I say make it
What else,
available to
Shelley?
them and everyone.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's through the Reading Science Center that got a grant for this type of internship. So maybe I'll find out whether it's okay for me to say something at one of our council meetings about it. I think the Science Center's in your district, isn't it, Johanny, or is it?
Yeah, it is. It's in my district. Yep.
Oh, okay, so maybe I'll pass the information on to you, and then you might want to say something about it.
Oh, you can, Marsha. That's okay if you're directly involved. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think that the more information we share and get to our youth, the better, because then the more opportunities they have to be engaged in
right,
something, especially during these times.
right. And this is exciting because this is going to set them up for future employment.
Yeah, that's great. Like I saw also the Olivet's posted that they're seeking virtual tutors, paying like $8.50 an hour, and it's for any ages, I think 14 and up, which I thought was kind of neat that they're offering these
Right.
part-time positions to young adults.
Great. Okay, so where do we need to go next on the agenda?
I'm looking at excuse me, Marcia. I'm looking at the list of people that have applied for this. What did we decide on districts where there's supposed to be 3 people appointed and there's 4 names? What are we going to do about those?
So we're supposed to pick 2 from each council district plus 3 citywide. So because there are citywides, there will be some districts that have more than 2.
Okay.
And the reality is, from the youth perspective, our councilmatic district boundaries probably aren't the thing that comes to their minds as far as where they look at, I'm from the South Side. I used to call where I lived East Reading. It's not East Reading anymore to the kids. It's the South Side.
Can you go look at it?
Listen, you're going to have to excuse me for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay. I also think that if there's youth that have an interest in, volunteering their time and things like that, that we should probably, because I'm gonna assume that the youth commission is probably gonna have some type of subcommittees, and they're gonna be needing to
Right.
recruit other youth to help them carry out messages and projects and so on and so forth. So
Right.
it'd be great to have them like on a list, that they can still attend. They may not have a specific role or title, but they can most certainly attend, volunteer, and participate.
That's an excellent idea. And there always will be youth rotating off, so that way it will give them experience. It'll be interesting to see where they want to go with projects. Do we want to just move on to, are we recommending these folks for appointment then next week? The two we interviewed?
They're both from Donna. Are they both from Donna's district?
They are, yes, coincidentally, they both are.
Are those that, those would be the two then. We don't have any other applicants, do we?
Yeah, everyone that
I'm
I
back.
have is on the list.
Sorry.
So we were just talking about the two applicants are from Donna Reed's district, but that, isn't an issue. Do we want to move ahead and put them on the agenda for approval on next Monday?
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's
Doing
District
everyone
5, right?
Are we approving everyone simultaneously? Right. We haven't made appointments for all the
Yes.
districts, have we?
We have
I
not.
don't
We've been
remember.
holding
Yeah, I
them.
didn't think so.
Yeah, we've been
Oh,
holding them
okay.
waiting for backgrounds. So this first one will have all 10 of them on it. It will be one resolution with the 10 names and their
Okay.
expiration dates on it, rather than doing
great.
10 individual ones.
Gotcha.
That's a
Okay.
good
And they all
idea.
have their background checks and everything then?
Everyone who's
Great.
age 18 or older that we've interviewed so far have submitted their backgrounds, all clear, no problems.
Okay. Great. Well, that will be a reason to celebrate next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Strat, you want to move ahead with the agenda?
Yeah, sure. What do we got now?
Isn't it the pledge?
The agreement of responsibility.
Right.
Anna, do you want to speak to this?
Sure.
Marcia, can you handle it?
Sorry.
Sure, I'll handle it. That's fine.
I have people here, repair people that are doing work on the home my home right now, and I'm
Okay.
jumping back and forth. It's not good to have a meeting like this, but go ahead, Marcia.
Okay, so, and I guess we'll turn it over to Anna for the agreement of responsibility.
Thank you. So just by way of update to let everybody know, Frank, Michelle, and I spoke about the agreement of responsibilities late last week. And I'm going to be making some very small proposed changes for everyone's consideration. It sounds like this agreement, Shelley provides it to everybody in their welcome packets, that it does seem like there's one on file for all current, or for almost all current members. So it's something that we've been doing and doing very well. It's just a matter of possibly tweaking it. Maybe not. It'll be up to you guys to decide what you think is necessary. I'll be circulating the proposed, I guess, revisions. But in the meantime, it seems like it is something that's been well underway. And in my opinion, is a good thing to have Frank had asked about what the effect of it is. It's certainly not a contract, but I think it is an important reminder for the volunteers and the members of the boards, authorities, and commissions about what their role is. And it can be used as a good tool for compliance if somebody perhaps, with good intentions, but steps out of that role or out of line. I think it can be very useful to the city. So in general, it seems like it's working very well. It just might be a matter of small alterations.
Okay. So would you be able to get this back to us by the next meeting then, so we can just confirm everything?
Absolutely. And certainly the form that's in place is sufficient, and I don't have any concerns about it. We just, since Frank had brought it up, we might as well take the opportunity to make any improvements that we might want to do.
Frank, do you have any comments at all?
No.
Oh, no, I don't have any comments. Basically, Anna really covered everything. And Shelley really brought some clarification for us and the administration that this has really been happening. So we're not really reinventing the wheel. We're just kind of, because when people come in to get sworn in, they bring the paperwork in, including that responsibility paper. We'll make sure on our end that when the mayor makes appointments, that we make sure we get that necessary information over to Shelley in regards to making sure they sign. Because, like, for example, the parking authority, the first day the mayor was in, he appointed everybody to the parking authority, but that information kind of never went over there for us to sign those papers at the time. But we'll make sure, that happens. So everybody's signing this paper. And Anna gave us some ideas about, tightening up some loose ends, but otherwise it's a process that's for the most part, it's been pretty much working.
Yep.
Good
Giovanni,
job,
do you have
Frank.
any questions?
When I look at,
Going.
hello?
Okay, I'm sorry, Giovanni.
It's okay. When I read the responsibility, the agreement of responsibility, I look at the pledge, do they have to raise their right hand and kind of like read it out loud? I pledge to do all those things. Do we make them do that?
We don't make them say it out loud. No, we ask them to fill it out and sign it and give it to Linda when they are finished taking their oath. So they've already done the oath and then they sign this, and it's our record that, they're going to take their role seriously.
So they take an oath similar to what we take as far as following all the rules and laws and everything like that.
Yes.
Okay. So then the next thing we have is the application form. And that's what you've been traditionally using. Am I correct, Shelley?
Yes, and this, I've been working with Anna to update this as well so that it now will reflect the new background requirements for
Okay,
those who
good.
work with our youth. So most of the new language is on page 7, and you'll see it's kind of a grayed in highlighted paragraph. That's what we're proposing to add to the application form.
Mhm. Any questions on the application form? Okay, then the
So if
next
you're good
thing,
with that, we'll make that adjustment and get the new forms from now forward.
yeah, I'm okay with it. Anyone else?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right, the next thing we have is the status of the clearances.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit during the Youth Commission discussion, but you'll see the table on page
Mhm.
9. Stephanie De La Cruz, that's the second from the top. She's one of the ones that I can't reach. So she'll probably come off this list. The other 3, I'm still trying, but I'm working with the planning, our with Lucine and Melissa to kind of give them some deadlines so they don't let us hang on forever before we move to recruit some additional people.
And then we also, I see we have one outstanding from the Youth Commission or from the Rec Commission.
Yeah, I've contacted her. I will follow up with her again, letting her know that she needs to submit those, and I've not heard back from her. So I'll touch base with her again.
Are the three for the rec commission, how many of those are city appointments versus mayoral or school district? Or are they all city?
2 of them are city. The third one was the school district's turn this time, and I understand they have reappointed Don at their last meeting, but we still do have the 2 city openings that we're trying to fill.
Okay.
The mayor's
Hey,
office,
question.
I'm sorry.
No, you go first, Frank.
Okay, the mayor's office is going to be forwarding one of the applications tomorrow, Shelley.
Okay.
It's the Ryan, I'm really not good at last names, so I don't want to put, it's spelled, last name's Yanchucik. The mayor has signed off on that one. And we're
Okay.
still holding on the other for further evaluation. In fact, tomorrow I'll have EAC sent to you, ethics, and another one. So I have about 5 or 6. I'll have it in your office tomorrow.
Great.
And Shelley, Deja Harris that I see here as requiring additional clearances, isn't she the same Deja that works at the Olivet Boys and Girls Club?
She is.
Yeah, she has her clearances. It's just a matter of her getting them to you.
Oh, get it, gotcha.
I mean, I'm
Also-
assuming that she can't work at the Olivets unless she has a clearance,
Right.
so.
Right, of course, yeah. Are we gonna be also reviewing the pages 10 through the remainder of the pages? Are we gonna be looking at that as well this evening?
We can if you have questions. Or there's something
Yeah,
specific.
Yes, the Citizens Initiative Commission, because I see only one has been appointed by the mayor. Do we
Right.
need to be proactive as, I guess we have to be proactive in identifying members from our districts, right?
Yeah, those are citywide. I don't think there are district restrictions on that, but at this point, we only have one
It says
person.
one. It
Yeah,
says
so
So
one
one
per
per council
council.
district.
Oh, it does? Okay, that's my apologies. We have one from District 4, which I've not appointed because she can't do anything alone. So we absolutely need to have more people before that can, and that was
Yeah.
created around about the same time as the Youth Commission, and it was the same kind of, we created
Right.
it and then it never really got wings to fly. So this would be probably the next thing you might want to consider.
Yeah, it
Okay.
sort of came
Focusing on
around the time that we got, off track because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
why don't
but,
we
I mean,
remind,
I can ask Christian to, I can work with him on something for that for social media as well.
and why don't we remind people tonight at the council meeting, just that we are working on that?
Okay.
Yes, great recommendation.
Yeah, that's really important.
All right. And where do we go from here?
To the committee of the whole.
Yep, we're gonna have a hearing starting our first part of our meeting.
Yes,
That's at 5, right?
Yep, we
that's
have
correct.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay, guys. See you
Motion to
then.
adjourn.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.